guys. I am doing my first unboxing here. It's also my first Batman. It's also my first McFarlane toy. So a whole lot of firsts today, but so far I'm really happy with what we got here. So this is, it's the McFarlane Toys Batman White Knight. It's modeled after Sean Murphy's design for Batman for the Batman White Knight series from 2017. As soon as that series came out, I was like, I'm going to get the toy for this because I really like the artistic choices that Sean Murphy made with this design, and all of those made it to the toy that I'm really happy with. So like right off the bat, we have the high collar, we have the wide yellow belt, which reminds me a lot of like the Mike Mignola Batman as well. But my personal favorite part of the entire Batman White Knight universe are these glorious thigh-high boots. Yeah, so what do we have to talk here? So yeah, the thigh-high boots, like I said, I'm going to start with because I'm a sucker for them. The sculptor has made an interesting choice in adding all of these lines. Like in the comic design, it's a very slick leather boot, but there's a lot of extra line work in these, and I'm thinking maybe they did that to complement the obvious, when you add joints to a toy, you're going to have lines there. So I think those lines might be put to complement the necessary breaks in joints, which I think overall I would have preferred less lines and more of like a slick boot look, but overall I'm really happy with it. For accessories, we got 3 accessories with this guy. We have little batarang on a string here. We have another batarang on a string that I have hanging off his belt here. He's got a little hook that hangs on that. And he also has the Sean Murphy version of the Batman grappling gun, which looks a lot like the Tim Burton Bat grappling gun as well. I find it interesting that out of the included accessories, you get like literally 2 of the same thing, one coiled up, one lengthened out, when they maybe could have picked a bit more variety there. But in terms of accurate, is this Batman toy accurate to this version of Batman in the comics? I'm really happy with it. They provide a little trading card with it as well, and you can directly compare right down to the tiny little dagger he's got in his belt there. I don't know how often I've seen Batman carrying knives, but he's got a tiny knife hilt sticking out there as well. Overall, like I said, this is my first McFarlane toy, so I'm really impressed with obviously the amount of joints and posability there is. You can really see, even like his toes. You can stick up his dainty little toes if you want. Look at that. But and I like the stiffness of the joints and how it's not a loose move. You can't just pose it anywhere. It kind of clicks into place with each movement, which I think, if you're posing this guy a lot, you're moving him around a lot. If you do this a lot, it's gonna get very loose over time, but I think having that click into place helps that. Shoe fly. The cape. Some interesting choices I feel made in the cape. You have sort of to give it the sort of billowing, sweeping, shadowy look. They gave it little tendrils here, which I'm not opposed to theoretically, but when you look close, it's sort of this guy, it's kind of rough around the edges here and these little thin parts of the tendril, which I think I may have preferred a wider, more intimidating billowing cape. But it is a soft cape, at least. It's not just it's like a rubber composite. It's not just like a stiff sheet of plastic. I had a bit of trouble getting this guy to stand up at first, which I don't know if it's because he's got tiny little feet or because I am new to McFarlane Toys and unboxings as a whole. So maybe that's just me learning how these guys stand, but obviously he's standing now. What else have I noticed here? He's got the little heel spurs, he's got the little wrist spurs. This version of Batman doesn't have big gauntlets. He has he actually has fingerless gloves, which they actually kind of missed here. He has full black gloves in this, whereas in the Sean Murphy design, basically his gray leotard extends all throughout his fingers. Then he has leather fingerless gloves on it, which is super they're like racing gloves, like driving gloves. I know Sean Murphy's big on his stick shift driving as well, so I'm assuming that's what came into play there. But all in all, I'm really happy I bought this toy. McFarlane Toys is obviously great at making action figures. If you're a fan of the Sean Murphy Batman White Knight universe, or if you haven't heard of that comic and you're just looking for a new Batman figure, this is definitely one of my favorite designs. just with the collar, and I just love those boots. I never want to see Batman without thigh-high leather boots ever again.